Hi everybody, Scarlett here. Happy Thursday blog day. Blog day? It's vlog day now, I guess. For those of you that don't know me, how dare you? My name is Scarlett Stone. I'm an aspiring writer currently working on my young adult fiction, His Blue Eyes. If you want to know more about my work in progress, you can check it out on my website now. Today is a fantastic day for several reasons. Number one, I'm actually getting paid to be at home right now. It's the glory of vacation time. Number two, I found the unicorn. It tastes so good. It tastes like dreams and rainbows and little children's wishes. And number three, I'm launching my website today. It is officially available to the public. Now, this is a bit nerve-wracking for me. I've never done anything like this before, but I'm also very excited to share this part of my life with you guys. The link is down in the description below. I'd love some feedback. Let me know what I can work on and what's working well. So let's face it, we've all been there, where writing is suddenly not as fun as it used to be. And it's a little bit scary, considering writing is our calling. We feel like we've been put on this earth to be storytellers to others. It's been written into our DNA. It's our passion. It's why we get up in the morning. It's why we breathe. And it stopped being fun. It's making us a little bit insane, to be honest. Cue the world ending! Don't worry. It's happened to the best of us. It's common to fall in and out of love with writing, especially considering we are treating it like a job. And who doesn't fall in and out of love with their job? Or better yet, upgrade and develop a love-hate relationship with it. That's me. It's perfectly normal for your life passion to seriously make you question your sanity. And Lord knows that this does not revolve around merely hobbies or profession. It's the whole kit and caboodle, guys. It can be anything. It doesn't even have to be writing. You should see me play video games. It's awful. I'm a nervous wreck whenever I play. And yet, it's like the love of my life. I know that we'd like to think that we're all tough as nails and we have nerves of steel, but the truth is, we're all human. We're fragile sometimes, and sometimes our mental game is not exactly at 100%. And while this might not seem like a big deal, not being 100% in the mental health department can lead to other problems down the road, whether it's other health issues, it's insomnia, it's poor eating habits, increased hermitage, poor writing, or worse, no writing. Okay, now cue the end of the world. So before you go and toss in the towel and seriously consider another passion, let me settle your worried soul and offer you 10 tips on how to salvage the remnants of your already fragile mental psyche. Some of these might work for you and some might not. Some of these won't be very nice to hear. The faint of heart should avert ye eyes. You've been warned. But they're all important nonetheless, and all offer great guidance for future reference or even now. So without further ado, 10 tips on how to stay relatively sane while writing. Number one, take a break. Seriously, this one's very important, guys. When was the last time you got up and stretched and focused on something besides your computer screen? Sometimes when we're so focused on our work, we tend to forget that we actually have a body, a human body that has needs like bathroom breaks and stretching and food requirements. We tend to ignore the signs our body throws at us, like muscle aches, eye strain, full bladders. Trust me, your work isn't going anywhere. You can afford to get up for 5 minutes and get those limbs moving again. Your work will be there when you get back. Number two, make a schedule for yourself. Set alarms to remind yourselves to take breaks and eat and do something that maybe isn't writing oriented. Maybe instead of saying, I'm going to write today, which has no clear beginning or end, no structure, and is vague as all get out, set smaller, more attainable goals, such as I'm going to write 500 words, take a 10-minute break, and write another 500 words. This goal is very specific, it has a good structure, it has a beginning and an end, and it's pretty easily attainable if you put your mind to it. Make a habit to start each writing session with a routine so you know which direction you're going to be going in. Going headfirst into a writing session without a clear goal often leads to procrastination, frustration, and disappointment. Do not recommend. Number 3, switch it up. If the routine that you're currently in feels more like a rut than anything, maybe it's time to switch up your ritual. Try something different. Leave the house. Listen to a different playlist. Play around with a couple writing exercises to get the ideas flowing. Write in a group if you normally hermit it up. Or vice versa. If you normally write in a group nonstop, try a little bit of seclusion, see what happens. Pick apart the routine you're currently stuck in and see what works and what doesn't. Number 4, reward yourself. When you make a goal, celebrate. Eat that candy, watch that movie, go out and buy that book. Allowing yourself those little treats is a great way to lighten the mood, offer distraction, and reinforce positive behavior. Think about it like this. If you're trying to train your puppy to go to the front door whenever it needs to go outside to go pee, you're going to offer positive feedback whenever it does the thing you want it to do. Your puppy is then going to associate doing the right thing with something good, whether it's praises, cuddles, or treats. The same thing kind of goes for you, though for the love of God, I hope you are potty trained. And don't go outside to do it, for that matter. When you make goals for yourself and reach them and then reward yourself accordingly, your brain is going to start associating positive experiences with hard work and hitting goals. This will help you focus less on the stress that you're experiencing and more on how well you're doing, how much work you're getting done. It's all about perspective. Positive reinforcement is key to a healthy you and a healthy me. Number 5, accept defeat. Okay, I know that this makes me sound like a negative Nelly, and it probably feels like a punch right here. Good old karate chop. But this is an honest to goodness tip. Scouts honor. Is this how they do the Scouts honor? I have no idea. I was never in Scouts. When I say accept defeat, I'm not saying toss away all your hard work. The moment the going gets rough, the butterflies are gone, and you're starting to hit those couple blocks. When I say accept defeat, I mean that you've been struggling with your work in progress for probably months to years. The passion you've had for it, the love for it is all gone, and more often than not, you're generally more frustrated and angry before you even start working on it, let alone turning on your computer to get started. If these are happening to you and you're experiencing these feelings, you might want to consider 1, setting aside that work in progress for a little bit to kind of reevaluate what's going on, or 2, dropping it altogether. Now keep in mind that this is only for absolutely dire situations, worst case scenarios. But sometimes it's good to know when to call a spade and realize that it's time to move on. I highly recommend putting a lot of thought into this, because when you make that decision, whether it's to push forward or to pull back, you're going to want to do it with a clear head and an objective mind. You don't want feelings involved, because those are going to really muddle your brain. Think of this tip as the red button you see in movies encased in glass that says break in case of emergencies. There's going to be pros and cons to it. But sometimes you'd be amazed at how much lighter you feel once you accept that kind of defeat and drop the story. I've done it before. And as sad as it was to say goodbye, the mental stress, guilt, and burden that I wasn't feeling, it was enough to make me realize that I had made the right choice. Number 6, get support. Find a soundboard. A good vent session is a beautiful thing, and it's even better when it's not directed at your fur baby, which I may or may not have done. I know that for me, after a good vent session, besides the headache I get from crying, because I cry a lot, I often feel 10 times lighter, well more balanced, and way more energetic after I have a good cry, rage, yelling session. And while a soundboard can essentially be anybody, it really does help if they have a writer's brain like you. They know the struggles you're going through because they've been there. They know them inside and out. And they can offer constructive feedback and advice that's not going to make you want to start throwing out punches like you know karate. But the most important thing to remember is that you aren't alone in these problems. People have gone through exactly the same thing that you're going through right now. They've been on the verge of snapping a time or two as well. And while this may come across as completely heartless, trust me when I say I mean it from the bottom of my heart. You aren't special. These problems you are experiencing are not exclusive to solely you. I'm so popular. Number 7, journal your progress. Now, I know that sometimes journaling is the last thing that people want to do, especially when writing is what they're doing all day, and it's writing that's causing them such a heartache and grief. But I find that when I journal my progress, even if it's a couple sentences just marking how my day's going and what I worked on and what I'm doing, it helps me debrief and vent. This is especially important for those people that maybe don't have that soundboard or that support system in place. Journaling is a great way to get your feelings out, quick and painless. Sometimes we just need to rage write our hearts out without fear of being judged, interrupted, and overwhelmed with really bad advice. Just as well, I find that journaling my progress helps me keep on track. I can see how far I've come, how much I've grown. And every single time I look at my journal, I'm reminded about how much stronger I am now than I was before. Number 8, listen to music. I know some people that prefer to write in silence, and that's totally fine. However, for me, unless I'm in the writing zone, I find my thoughts go too fast for my fingers to catch up, and I end up falling behind. My subconscious gets the better of me, and in the end, my mental health and my work suffers because of it. I often turn to music to keep my mind chatter at a minimum, and also to keep my focus sharp. Music is awesome that way. There's a unique sound for every sort of feeling you are wanting to feel. If you want relaxing music, there's a playlist for that. If you want hardcore screamo, there's a playlist for that. If you need orchestral or lyrical or dubstep or chill step, there's a freaking playlist for it. I guarantee it. Music is incredibly influential, and I find that my mood often mirrors whatever I'm listening to. Using music to manipulate and impact your writing is a great way to push past blocks, fears, and crippling doubt. Need a confidence booster? I'll bet you there's a playlist for that. Number 9, eat. Seriously. When was the last time you put something in your belly that was not Ichiban or candy or Nutri-Grain bars? I am talking food, people. I am talking things that have healthy sugars, non-lethal doses of sodium, and protein. When was the last time you drank something besides coffee and energy drinks? If you honestly can't remember, stop watching this video, go to your kitchen, get some water, and do not come back and watch this until it's done. I mean it. Number 10. You're gonna hate me for this. To be honest, I hate myself a little bit. But exercise. Notice how I left this at the bottom of the pile. It's because it's a last resort, worst case scenario, plan Z type of thing. I hate exercise. I hate it. Unless I'm doing an organized sport, you'll never see me jogging across a track. I don't even remember the last time I was at a gym. But sometimes if you're hitting that writer's block for the umpteenth time, there's no end in sight, and you can feel the stress building and building till you're pretty sure it's going to cave in on yourself, then maybe exercise is the right option. Getting the blood flowing and the heart pumping, blasting that music so loud that thinking about your book is next to impossible. Give your brain a moment to think about something else. Trust me, it's not cheating to think about other things besides your work in progress. And there you have it. 10 tips to help you not rip out your hair and ram pencils into your eyeballs when it comes to writing. During your writing hours, take time to practice a couple of these and incorporate them into your schedule. Figure out what works for you and what doesn't until you find a nice groove. I know your life is already busy, but trust me, your mental health will thank you later. With that said, I post new blogs and vlogs apparently every Thursday. If there's something you want me to talk about, please message me on here or Tumblr or tweet me at Scarlet Stone. Until next time, happy writing. Bye!